Hi, my name is Chris and this is Battle Nonsense. Before we start with the main topic of this video, I want to briefly talk about the DICE Friends dog tag. One of my recent videos was about the PR machinery that is advertising games, the role YouTubers play in the strategy of the marketing department, as well as pre-ordering of games in a time where games can't really be out of stock anymore. In that video I mentioned the DICE Friends dog tag, for which you could suggest players in a topic on Battlelog, and I also raised the question who will qualify for that dog tag, who will get one from DICE. I was quite sure that those who keep the community informed, actively create content like videos or tools such as the amazing cinematic tools will rightfully receive those dog tags. What I did not expect was that someone who shows you the issues the game is suffering from could also get them. So you might imagine what kind of surprise it was when I learned that I also received that dog tag. But I don't want to waste too much of your time talking about it. What I just want to say is that I'm very grateful that DICE recognizes the effort I put into my tests, design concepts, as well as the videos where I explain how complex functions like the netcode work. But what makes me really happy is not that I received these tags, but that this shows that DICE wants to hear honest opinions and wants to hear how the game can be made better. At least as long as you don't get carried away by your passion and start to insult everyone working there. So if you have a channel on YouTube where you release videos about Battlefield, then this should show you that you do not have to be afraid to be honest, to share your own opinion and to criticize the game. DICE will listen to you as long as you do that in a polite way. So you don't have to worry that my videos will change now after I received those dog tags. You will still get my unbiased and honest opinion. Nothing gets covered up. I will show you the good and the bad aspects of the game and the changes done in the patches. And this brings us to the topic of this video, the recent medic pack change, which did result in quite a few heated discussions in the forums. First of all, I can fully understand that, because the effect it has on the gameplay is too strong at the moment. But based on the forum posts and tweets from the developers, it seems that it was not intended to be that strong. But somehow it managed to slip into the public patch. So it is good to know that it was not quite intended to work that way, but it doesn't really help us at the moment. Now, before I show you what kind of solution I have in mind, we should have a look at what has been changed. So before that last patch, you could stand on a medpack and nearly instantly when you took damage, the medpack started to heal you. The result of this was that your health indicator started to freak out, and gunfights also became a little bit unfair as soon as one of the players was standing on the medic pack. Because this player then had more like 110 health instead of 100, and that could make the difference if you survived the gunfight or not. So it is not a surprise that when playing as an assault it became a common tactic to first throw a medpack and then stay close to it while you try to capture a control point. This gave an advantage in a firefight when a player from the other team tried to defend the flag. Now, many players seem to think that the change was done to balance the assault class, but that's not quite correct. The reason for this change was to remove the advantage of using this tactic during firefights, and the class does not really matter here, because it could also be an engineer, recon or support who stands on that medic pack, not just the assault, even though this change affects the assault class the most. So what happens now since that last patch is that as long as you get suppressed, the medic pack will not heal you. And once the suppression stops, it will take a few seconds until the med pack starts to do its job. So while I do agree with the basic idea of this change that tries to fix the unfairness in gunfights when one player is standing on top of the medic pack, I have to say that I don't like that this has been linked to the suppression. Now let's take one step back and look at the issue that we actually want to fix. If one of the players who are in a direct firefight is standing on a medic pack, then the firefight becomes unfair, because that player gets healed when he takes damage. It is like he has 110 health instead of 100. This is what we want to fix without affecting the gameplay further in a negative way. So I suggest that we do not link the heal function of the medpack to the suppression, but instead we link it to receiving damage. This means that if I stand on top of a medic pack and get shot, then I will not heal instantly. If I do not take additional damage during the next 2 seconds, then the medpack will start to heal me. If I take damage before these 2 seconds are over, then the medpack will not start to heal me for another 2 seconds. So if I get hit, take cover, don't take damage for 2 seconds, then the medpack will heal me, even though I'm still suppressed by that player who is firing at me. This means that by linking the heal function of the medpack to receiving damage instead of suppression, we fixed the issue where the medpack created unfair situations in a gunfight, and this fix does not add any additional penalties to any of the players involved in that gunfight. In my opinion, this is the best solution for the problem, but there is more about the healing in Battlefield 4 that could be made better. Battlefield is supposed to be a game that is about teamwork, and because of that I have never understood why DICE added auto heal and auto repair when this game has 2 classes responsible to heal teammates and to repair damaged vehicles. I'm not sure if Halo was the game that actually invented auto heal or if it just made it popular, but the thing about Halo is that this game mechanic makes sense there, because in Halo you have a shield and you have health. And only your shield gets recharged or regenerated. If your health got reduced, then this does not regenerate. So that auto heal or auto regenerate function makes perfect sense in a game like Halo, where you have a shield. Now, I know that there are Battlefield players out there who strongly believe that auto heal and auto repair make the game harder and more competitive, because it makes the players and vehicles harder to kill. I can understand the point of view up to some degree, but this is not even the point, because my problem is the impact that auto heal and auto repair have on the teamwork as well as the balancing of the game. And because of this I also do not agree with the general suggestion I usually get that I should play classic or hardcore if I don't like auto heal. This functionality increases the lone wolf playstyle, it decreases the teamwork aspect, and it makes the game more forgiving and faster paced. Because of that, it should not exist in normal mode either. In Battlefield 4 we have the assault medic and the engineer, and their job is to repair physical damage. If you let the game do that automatically, then you remove that aspect from the game. You reduce the teamwork, you reduce the need to have players choose a different class composition for their squads. Also, auto repair for jets and helicopters has an extremely negative effect on the balance between air and ground units, as I explained and demonstrated in my previous videos. In my opinion, auto heal and auto repair are 2 of the worst game mechanics that DICE ever added to the Battlefield franchise, and I hope that this will not appear again in future titles. So I would love to suggest to simply get rid of the normal mode in Battlefield 4 and just replace it with the classic mode. But there's no point in such a suggestion, because it is far too dramatic for a game that has been released over a year ago. So instead I want to suggest something that is feasible, and that is to tone down auto heal as well as auto repair. This means that the game mechanic is still present, but not as strong as it is now, so that assault medics and engineers become more valuable again for teamwork. And to achieve this I have 2 different ideas which I want to show you. Option 1 is to limit the maximum regen amount. This means that auto heal and auto repair will only heal or repair you up to a specific value, in example 50. So if I get damaged to 25, then the system will only heal me back to 50, not 100. If I want to get back to 100, then I need to find a medic, or if I'm a vehicle then I need an engineer. The second option is to only auto heal or auto repair if I'm above a certain value. This means that if I receive damage that pushes me below 50, then I will not get repaired anymore, as the damage I took is critical. So I need an engineer to fix that kind of damage, or if I play infantry I need to get a medic to heal me. Now, which of these options do I prefer? I don't quite like the first one, because it means that I could get damage down to 1% and still have auto heal get me back up to 50. That would make it too easy to get out of bad situations on my own without teamwork. That is why I like the second approach more, because it means that auto heal and auto repair will only work as long as I did not receive major damage. It will only help me with minor damage, so I have to be much more careful as I run around on the map, and I have a much stronger incentive to keep an eye on the assault medics and the engineers around me. And players who choose one of these 2 classes also have a much higher interest in looking after their teammates, because taking care about them just became much more important to win the round, and you get a lot of points for healing and repairing. So I think that if you link the healing delay of the medic pack to receiving damage instead of suppression, then this would fix the issue of medic packs cause unfair gunfights without affecting the game in a negative way. Also by toning down the auto heal and auto repair so that it will only work as long as you stay above 50, should cause that players have to plan ahead a bit more, and that the assault medic as well as the engineer classes become more important again for teamwork, as they have to look after their teammates, which is one of the key aspects of these classes. However, this creates a problem for jets and helicopters, because in Battlefield 2, where we didn't have auto heal and auto repair, we had airstrips and helipads. So if your jet was damaged or you ran out of ammo, then you would return to your airfield for repairs and rearm. Same for the helicopters, where you would return to your helipad. In Battlefield 4 we do not have helipads nor airstrips on some maps, so if auto repair would be changed as I suggested, then this would cause some problems for pilots, as they can't get their vehicles back to 100%. But I think that for the overall balancing between air and ground, this would still be an improvement. I also have to say that I'm strongly against the idea of suppression affecting other game mechanics like heal rates or gun mechanics. And when you read the topics on Battlelog as well as comments on a lot of YouTube videos, then it appears that the majority of Battlefield players does not like how suppression is working. And it seems that Visceral has been listening, because based on recent interviews we know that suppression will only be a visual effect in Hardline and not mess around with any other mechanics. And that is perfectly fine, because what that visual effect tries to tell me is that there are a lot of bullets flying in my direction, and that if I were to stick my head out, then I will get horribly murdered. So the player who is firing at me is able to keep me pinned down behind cover, so that his teammates can flank me. This means that he is suppressing me, and for that it is not required to mess around with my gun or healing mechanics. Visceral has realized that the majority of players don't want suppression as it is in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Now we just need to get DICE to realize it too, and to get them to stop trying so hard to make it work, because it is not what players want. So let me know what you think about the changes that I proposed here. Just write a comment, or you can also visit the topic in the CTE forums, to which are linked in the description. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, have a nice day and take care. My name is Chris, and this was Battle Nonsense.